Welcome back to Linux gameplay performance, is what I'd like to say. However, the game I'm using as background footage for this video is only available on Windows, as the Microsoft Store restricts its availability. But it's not the only Gears game with issues. The whole franchise has a problem, so let's rant about it. If you happen to be interested in a gameplay performance video of Gears of War 4 on modern AMD CPU and GPU hardware, even if it's just on Windows, please let me know in the comments. All two of you who are watching this.
Get into cover!
The Gears of War franchise, as it's currently represented on PC, is an absolute flustercuck. Actually, I don't think this is a hot take at all. Just look at it. Gears of War 1 just received its second remaster. Gears 4 is only available on the Microsoft Store, and Gears 5 still doesn't have a sequel on the horizon. Instead, the next game is a prequel to the very first Gears of War, which just had a second remaster. Let's examine each point individually and break down my reasoning. The initial 3 Gears of War games were a fantastic trilogy on the Xbox. I absolutely enjoyed my time fighting my way past hordes of locusts in an effort to save the world. I even played the first remastered version on PC in co-op mode, as I liked it so much. The gameplay was simple, but the action was addictive, as were the characters and the world. Unfortunately, that's also where the fun stopped. Parts 2 and 3 still don't exist on PC, and there was no announcement that the circumstance changed. Instead, they remastered the remaster. I acknowledge that it's a very good thing that this game is now also available on additional platforms, such as the PS5 and Steam. The first remaster, aka the Ultimate Edition, was a Microsoft Store exclusive release on Windows, and as we'll get to in a moment, the Microsoft Store is not good. However, as much as I applaud this multi-platform approach, what about the other 2 titles in the trilogy? Wouldn't the time and effort have been better spent on only freeing the Ultimate Edition from the Microsoft Store shackles and putting the rest of the time into porting Gears of War 2 and 3 to PC on Steam? What's the point of purchasing Gears of War Reloaded if it's uncertain whether the rest of the story will ever be playable on PCs or PlayStations?
Leader, Green 1, approaching bonfire.
The next Gears of War title available to PC gamers is Gears of War 4, which was a great game in its own right and kicked off a totally new story arc, but it suffers from one small problem. You can only purchase it on Microsoft's terrible storefront. I was foolish enough to do so, albeit at a steep discount, and just for getting some B-roll footage for this video, I had to wait an eternity for it to download. As I record this voiceover, the download is still not even halfway there after multiple hours of waiting. Microsoft's platform is so unbelievably slow. After about 2 hours of doing something else, I had barely downloaded 10 gigabytes on a 1 gigabyte connection. This is ridiculous. Microsoft boasts about carbon efficient Windows updates and the like, but I'm forced to waste energy on downloading a gigantic video game of 133 gigabytes in size. It's not like my gaming PC, which must perform the download, is as efficient as a MacBook. I mean, it's a gaming PC. What's protective of the environment about that? And then there's the issue of file obfuscation and encryption in Microsoft Store software, which makes it impossible to even export save games, as I have found out with Doom: The Dark Ages. How about improving your store, Microsoft? Or even better, bring Gears of War 4 to Steam as well, and even the Epic Games Store for all I care, as long as the suffering in Microsoft Store is over. Even before the Gears of War Reloaded edition was released, Gears 5 already found its way to Steam. That's another excellent game, one I've beaten several times, but instead of getting a sequel and a resolution to Kate's story, we get a prequel to Gears of War in Gears of War E-Day. I'm not against that prequel or anything, quite the opposite. I'd love to revisit the original characters and experience another action-packed character-focused adventure, but what will that do for the Gears franchise on PC? I'll tell you, we'll have 2 trilogies that are currently unfinished, and possibly a new one in the works, depending on how the Coalition intends to position E-Day.
I have got to learn to stop following you.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Let's get that hatch open.
As a fan of this franchise, I find this frustrating. I'd love to play these games again and enjoy them at the highest quality my currently well-equipped PC can produce using a keyboard and mouse. But given the fragmented state of the franchise on PC, I cannot in good conscience spend money on any of these games. As much as I hate to say this, we just don't know if any of the open trilogies will ever be completed on PC or on PlayStation for that matter. I mean, Kate's story is hanging by a thread on all platforms, even on Xbox. Whatever the reason is why the Coalition opted not to finish a plot. As much as I love the franchise, I'm skeptical about remastering Gears of War again, especially when other titles could be ported instead. Now I need to go and learn meditation to calm down. Thank you for listening to my rant. I'd appreciate it if you do all the YouTube stuff. I hope to see you in the next video.